1745 here. And hello, I think I'm going to get this right this time. Stephanus Magnus. Hello. Thank you for showing up. Starting a minute or so early, but I'll give a few moments for everybody to get notified. Come on in. Before we start another great stream, well, I hope it's going to be a great stream, another stream of the great new game Warplan. This is going to be the start of Barbarossa. I want to go over what we've done. We skipped a few turns in the meantime since you last saw us last week. Hey, Unknown. And so, get through that. I recently, Unknown, rewatched the Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot starring David Suchet series and the most recent version of the Miss Marple series that BBC or whoever did recently watch those. Though I like the Joan Hickson interpretation best, but I couldn't find a good quality recording of that. I know this is a bit inside for most of you, but Unknown will probably get what I'm saying. Okay, we're going to get this report screen off of here, but first I want to go over things. Now, say this. I'm still playing a slightly older version. I know there's been some updates to, and there's still work being done on Warplan. The main reason I'm still playing this is I just wasn't sure. I guess I could have asked, but I just wasn't sure that the updated version is 100% compatible with the saves I have, and I want to continue this going through. So we're just going through, and this partly I say this because we're going to have a little minor bug here apparently, at least from reading this. So what we have here: USA extends Pan-American security zone to Iceland. Roosevelt's actions will lead U.S. closer to war. Very good. USA gears towards war as Axis occupies Egypt and threatens the Middle East oil fields. Yes, we'll get to more of this down here in a moment. But USA gears towards war as Axis forces occupy Gibraltar, threatening the Atlantic trade. Well, I'm nowhere near the Gibraltar that I know of, so that's the little minor thing. Oh. Candram. Oh, buddy. Names that I'm not used to. Where is the breaks and the syllables? I don't know. Sorry, I'm butchering names again. Okay. The North Atlantic convoy group sinks 2 convoys. South Atlantic none. South Atlantic 4 convoys, 1 escort. The other North Atlantic group sinks 1 convoy. So hopefully we're hurting British heavily with sinking of convoys. Okay, so wanted to get through that turn report fairly quickly. Like I say, we're going to be doing Barbarossa big time, but let's just first start out here taking a look at Egypt. We pushed in. Now, for some reason, they moved this unit more like to here and then put the armor and the mech down in the desert here. I don't know what the AI was thinking about putting it there. Maybe they thought we were going to come around the Quattro Depression or something. I don't know. But it allowed us to hit this hard enough to push it out of the way and push into Alexandria and Cairo. And which, since they didn't fall back here, that will allow us to do this. We've just taken Jerusalem. That's going to have big implications very soon. And our Italian armor, not so great, but still quite functional. It's going to come here and take this port, secure the port. And we don't want to lose Cairo to any sort of counterattack, so we're going to move the Italian mechanized or motorized forces there. Now, okay, that we can't quite get to Alexandria, and I want to hold Alexandria for supply reason, so we're going to move. Yeah, couldn't have made it there, so yeah. Okay, that will get us very well secured. We're going to bring up yeah, hopefully that will be enough supply. Hello, Juve95 and Paul Winter and Lancer is here. Very good, very, very good. I'm going to move up the Italian Air Force, including the fighters a little bit more, not attack. I think we're going to send the German somewhere else. Now, we are here at 97%, and let's see if we can give them. Yeah, truck supply pushes them just over 100% is what we needed, and that would allow us to do a airborne invasion on Cyprus. Those of you who have been around here for a while knows how much I had a problem with taking Cyprus with strategic command, but fortunately we were able to parachute in and get a port, so we will have supply. That was the big problem, that and rain. And we're going to convert over to ground attack, and we're going to strike this unit. Oh, good. 1 damage. No. Okay. Now, we had these guys specifically waiting in a port to do this. So I was going to move them to the Middle East, but didn't know quite how I was going to get them there. But with this here, so these guys are going to get out of the ships, the roads garrison, if you will, a little bit more than that, but they're going to come into port and then get off the ship. So now we have a mountain corps, an infantry corps, and of course the German armor corps. So hey Lum, good to see you. Good friend Lum is. And of course the Africa Corps here has, I know it's called the first SS Panzer. I just auto-named it. It was auto-named that, but so we've got that secured. We are doing pretty well. They can still get some supplies in through Port Said. Now, historically, physically, there is Port Sudan out here. Maybe it had rail connections to the railway that was built up through here to Aswan, but I'm not even sure of that at this time. In modern day, I know it does, but so that would be really poor levels of supply coming in here. So I think all of these guys are out of supply right now. I think that still gets supply in from Port Said. So that is our Middle East situation. And of course we have Baghdad currently held. We are looking at getting the oil fields of Iraq at least. And we'll see if we think we have enough power here to push through Iran and the Soviets at some point. We'll think we'll need it. Now, mentioning the Soviets at some point. Okay. I know I was talking about this the other day, but the three biggest mistakes of World War II. I don't mean just like failures in combat or something like that, but biggest mistakes. Errors in judgment, shall we say. Not one of the biggest, but one of mistake would be something like Italy rashly attacking Greece. Now, we all know that the Greeks pushed the Italians back. We also know, if you've looked at it a little bit, a lot of the divisions that were sent into the attack that had been in Albania, a lot of the troops were actually off harvesting. You know, they often use the armies in a lot of these countries at harvest time to help bring in the harvest. So there, you know, the divisions, not that they didn't have troops, they just didn't have the troops there then when the attack was launched. Hello, Jaculius. And so, you know, his sort of rash invasion of Greece is a mistake. Could Italy have taken Greece? I think so. You know, if it was just like the Italian-Greek wars, um, much bigger industrial power and thought out a little better, they could. Okay. The of the top three mistakes, the number three mistake, you know, sort of counting down as it were, in my opinion, is the 1941 invasion of the Soviet Union. I'm not so much talking about the specific plan of Barbarossa or the often talked about, hey, it happened a month or 6 weeks later than it should have because of the aforesaid situation down here with the Italians being pushed back, Yugoslavia leaving the Axis and maybe going towards the Allies. That was, I'm not sure whether it was actually going towards the Allies or just simply leaving the Axis, but all that got a lot of attention away from going after the Soviet Union. I have to keep thinking in my head whether to call it the Soviet Union or Russia. Depends on, you know, obviously when I'm talking about it, but it is physically Russia too, not, you know, Soviet Union politically, Russia geographically. So that going in in 41 should have been planned to be the year that Germany significantly helps Italy secure the Mediterranean, not just a sort of a, yeah, we'll send some supplies, yeah, we'll send some more forces, yeah, we've helped you in Greece, we'll send you the Africa Corps, not just sort of, you know, haphazard. Just let me open a Coke here. Haphazardly sending forces into the Mediterranean, but really planned to, what do you need to take control of the Mediterranean? Obviously, that would be a lot of air power, including airborne forces, to do various landings, and just really hit hard and secure the Mediterranean. You know, get some sort of permission from, you know, enforce permission from the Vichy French to take out Gibraltar, that whole kind of thing. And do that in 41, and because if Hitler's going to be Hitler, you know, National Socialist, you know, obviously an evil philosophy, but if they're going to be themselves, they firmly believe that their destiny lies in the East, and there has to be eventual wars with the Soviet Union. So had they done it in 42, yeah, the Soviets would have been a little better prepared, but I think so would the Germans have. But we're going to make the historical mistakes here. So we're going to declare. Now, I haven't yet told you my number 2 and number 1 big mistakes of the World War II. I'll get to those maybe shortly. But what are your top 3 mistakes made in World War II? Love to hear them before I give out mine. Okay, so we are at war with the Soviet Union. We're going to start with something sort of simple up here. The Finns are going to take back their lost territory. Okay, so that pushes them to there. Okay, that shatters them, but it's used up all of our movement points. These can't get in and occupy that, but that's not a major problem. Yeah, let's see about cutting that off. Make sure we're not cut off. We'll move up. Yeah, we're going to use some truck supply to keep these guys supplied. Move up to there. No one's going to play with me? What, you think the... biggest mistakes of World War II. Yep, that is a very big mistake. I firmly believe that, you know, there's the whole, we can talk about a lot of mistakes in the whole Stalingrad campaign, most assuredly, Magnus. But once it was clear that the Italian and the Romanian armies that were holding the flanks, I think the Italians on the north and the Romanians on the south, but don't hold me to that, collapsed and it's encircled, I think had they immediately planned or pushed for a breakout, because von Manstein was very busily, very hurriedly trying to stabilize the front line. But while he was doing that, had Paulos then broken out, I think it would have been, you know, I don't want to say a sure thing, but something very likely to have happened. I think the Germans were quite capable. You know, sure, go in and use the Luftwaffe transport elements to supply them, you know, with whatever they need to try to break out, but start early on breaking out. That's a big mistake. Okay, now while you're still thinking of things that were big mistakes, my sort of plan initially, I mean, yes, long term we can look at taking Leningrad, Moscow area. Stalingrad is important mostly just as we can see as a rail nexus and you know, ability to hold down here. And we want to cut off, because if you cut this off here, you cut off the Caucasus, and that's the real goal is the Caucasus. Stalingrad really doesn't matter if we just were to hold, you know, the railway here and cut the railway somewhere over here. That's all you got to do. We don't really like have, you know, if they stick on a big, huge defensive ability at Stalingrad, just hold the railways and secure all this down here. That's the real goal. So that's sort of longish term. Now this sort of next turn or so, I'd like to get to Riga, but I don't think I can. That's a like to. I really want to take this hex here of, what is this, Solom or something. I want to take that hex there. I want to push along this railway as far as I can. It'd be nice to take that aircraft unit out, but I don't know that I can do that. And I want to take out somewhere in here these rails here. Those are my sort of goals and objectives for this turn. So let's see now. Don't know where I want to start, but we need to look at this. Okay, we have okay, we're gonna move HQ up. We put von Manstein with 996 stats down here commanding the south, so that will help out very much from there. Move the armor up to there, and we're going to airstrike. Okay, good. Actually reduce it by 1. Okay, well, would have liked to have actually killed them. But you can't have everything, I guess. We're going to use our medium bombers. Pound that well and truly. 3-1. Very good, very good. We got that there. Can't cross over the river, but we got that. Not quite what I wanted to have happen, but okay, well, I guess we can get to there and overrun the air army. That is useful. We've sort of cut railway control there. Let's see. Oh, well, they can come up to here now. Right. Doesn't get me to that air army, but it does help secure supply lines. There. Okay, not perfect, but good, good, good. We're trying for some big encirclements. And there's some of our goals here. Okay, that will be a 9-1. Hopefully it will shatter. Yes, very good. It shattered. That will allow us to move that core up with this core. 7-1. Push that there. Now we have a fairly open approach here. We're going to move up there. Yeah, well, a turn is 2 weeks, and that's not unreasonable. This is Walter von Reichenau, a very fanatic National Socialist, or a general. Okay, since nobody else is playing other than Magnus. The second biggest mistake of World War II was Mussolini declaring war on the Western Allies in 1940, you know, when he thinks that it's going to be over too soon and we got to get into the war. Italy was completely and utterly unprepared to fight a modern war. 8, 6, okay, that would be a little better advancing. I have added tank destroyers to many of my Panzer Grenadier corps to really be able to hit harder, and that will allow us to get all the way to there. Ooh, damn! What? I don't know why you can't dig deeper into that. This terrain we're moving across, presumably. Yeah, those still better than. Guess we could go all the way up there, but I don't know. Do we want to go all the way up there? Go into the marshes. No, I think we're going to stick with our plan. We haven't quite closed the pocket, but we definitely have an idea of a pocket being formed. Okay. Well, these two, good, they shatter, and it allows that division to come in and take that. Shattering, I think, is generally good. So yes, the second biggest mistake of World War II. Hey, thanks for following. Hello, Arno, my friend. Good to have you here. Okay. A lot of pushing, a lot of coming in now. Down here. Now, I don't know the effects in the game for supplier, if at all, to have some of these hexes controlled by Italy and some controlled by Germany. I don't know if there's any real effect difference. No, we're not going to attack there. But we are going to move up our forces. Well, let's see. We're going to move that mountain core to that port. Yeah, I knew it was Crimea. But we'll see about that. We have a small German flotilla down here. Prior to, and now earlier on, I hope if anybody has any questions about how I'm doing something, please ask up. Yes. Well, Gary Grigsby's War in the East is a more detailed, but also, a more specific look at it. It's very, very good. This is, Europe as whole sort of needing to simplify it to some degree, partially for the AI, I would say, having it as a, war in the East, war in the West. But that is a good game. But prior to the, like I was saying, if you have any mechanical questions on it, please ask away. Earlier on, I've been going through a lot of them in the earlier streams. But I think a lot of people got it, so we're talking a little bit more about the history. Prior to Barbarossa, there was various German missions. Sorry, I'm just going to adjust my chair here a bit. Prior German, missions to help out Romania, and that's sort of how it was put to everybody publicly, and even to the Romanians. It was also really to sort of prepare for Barbarossa and taking it, but they didn't want that leaking out. They sent a Luftwaffe mission that helped build up the Romanian Air Force. They sent a Kriegsmarine mission that took over a few vessels, but also moved over a lot of, E-boat type, small boat flotillas and whatnot into the Black Sea. And of course, the German army mission sent in there, the Hares, sent in a division or two early on. And there was a massive earthquake in Romania that really affected things. So that German one of the German infantry divisions, for a few weeks, was really put to rescuing and dealing with. Hey, thanks for following. Dealing with the civilian death toll in Romania is a sort of interesting aside before Barbarossa starts. So this is quite correct that we have a Romanian Ferdinand destroyer group mix of Romanian and German forces to operate here. I don't know how effective they're going to be to countering the Soviet Navy in the Black Sea, but it was something. Okay, now that's most of our southern front. We'll move a few of these other corps around here, but here. Okay. This is tricky. This is going to be tricky. Don't tickle them, boot them. Great, that's a very good result. Push them out of there. We'll see about what we want to move up there. Now, here we want to clear out, ultimately, at least these 3 corps that are blocking our way. What we want to do doesn't mean that we're going to. We're going to airstrike this twice. And then these 2 corps are going to hit there and push that out. Very, very good. Now they'll move up here. This will move up to here. We're going to use these fighters. Basically light airstrikes, but still. They will help disorganize. Again, one of the things that really does matter is, of course, the strength. This is a 30 out of 30, but it's also right now this one corps is at 80% effectiveness. We may not be doing any damages in lowering the strength of these corps that we're airstriking, but we are most likely reducing their effectiveness levels. So, and that affects how well they will operate. Okay, so let's 8 to 1. Yeah, 10 to 1. I think 8 to 1. And didn't shatter, but pushed them back. Okay. Let's move this up here. That will get 6 to 1, which pushes them back. Now, I wanted to shatter them, but I didn't. Obviously, they can attack there. So it is sort of done its well. Let's move these two up here. Attack together. Very good. 3 to 1 here. Ah, do I take the 3 to 1 and have it flub it? Or do I combine it? Who dares wins, so let's go for it. Nope, they held. They held, damn it. Okay, well. 8, no, that fully takes up. Ooh, man, that takes up a lot of my movement. Points. I'm saving that air for attacking there. I don't know that we're going to get there, so. Well, that's 6. No. Seen it here first, guys. Nope. We're not getting to there. Now they retreat. Yeah, I can't even advance to next to that. Damn. Ah, we took a risk. We failed. We took a risk. We failed. Oh boy. That means a lot of this can escape. Where if we had taken that rail junction, we would be pinning a lot more. Had we used this Flieger core here, we might have been able to push here, but there's a mech unit sitting there that I really wanted to use the air power in taking that. Basically, we don't take it without using the air power. Okay, well, since we have this air power, it would be nice to take that, but we're going to use it to strike here. Ooh, 2 down. And here. Okay. We're going to strike there. They are severely hurt. We're going to hit them and shatter them. Very good. That takes all of the movement points. They hold, okay. We will move up lists. Army Group HQ. Six versus 8. We're going to go with the. We have a mech core there. That's why we have. Your power needs to switch over to ground attack. Help that. Okay, we can go straight up to there. 4 to 1, very good. Cuts off their supply. Okay, no one else is playing my game of what are the 3 biggest mistakes of World War II. Now, since we didn't quite take here, I think I should push here. shatters, very good. Pushing back. Unfortunately, pushing back is, you know, it's not terrible by any means, but it's not quite the complete destruction of the army that I want to get when I hopefully surround it. Good. Yeah, generally speaking, and the SS Corps was one of them, but delays, I forget the one spy that was feeding them information in the operation dealing with it that was pushing them to, we'll move you up to the port, to make them think that Calais was still going to be the main, that Normandy was just the feint and the main attack was still coming in Normandy. The delayed forces being sent to Normandy sooner is definitely a mistake. It should have been sent sooner. But as Neuhauser's saying, I really don't know if it would have mattered in the victory or loss of the Normandy landing / French campaign, but it would have made it a tougher fight. So I think it would have mattered in that sense, but it wouldn't have mattered to the outcome of the campaign. So my first biggest mistake, you know, the biggest mistake of World War II was Hitler's invasion of Poland. Hitler literally knew he was gambling. He gambled his fate. He gambled the German people's fate. You know, all that are going to die on it. His whole thing on the invasion, that France and England weren't going to go to war over Poland. So he gambled and he lost. Now, yeah, sure, he takes Poland. He would have taken it whether the Soviet Union. The only reason the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact happened is that Hitler was worried that the Soviet Union might intervene, whether on Poland's behalf or just use it as an excuse to go to war with Germany. So he got that done, and so Poland was a sure thing, I would say, but he gambled on whether France and England would fight, and yep, he did defeat France, but that is obviously, yes, Germany, yes, I don't know, yeah, those are good ones too. Germany declaring war on the USA, delaying Operation Barbarossa for 3 months, that's a big one, and invading Poland for the bonus round, not being able to deploy the Panzer divisions to counter Normandy landings. Yes, those are all good, and I can tell you we're typing those up a bit. Yeah. The 3rd Canadian Division was overbuilt. Yeah. No, it was Canadian Division set up to come into Normandy was definitely a... Yeah. And I don't want to use anything like sure thing and guaranteed to win, but no, they were organized up. We're going to send these guys up to here, and then let's make sure we're selecting them and land some mountain troops up there. Other one was losing almost the whole of the aircraft capacity in the Battle of Britain. Yeah, that was Germany was doing that. We need to convert you to a regular division. Lost a lot. The whole Battle of Britain. The German Air Force was not designed as a strategic air force, especially once Weber died in the air crash. It really veered away from being a strategic air force. Goering, let's just face it, Goering was out of his depth. He often talked whether it was during the Battle of Britain or other times, talked in terms of World War I tactics and aircraft, and, you know, ways of thinking, and Luftwaffe pilots who had been battling Battle of Britain and whatnot, just like, what are you, I mean, obviously they didn't say this, but I've heard different things, like, what are you talking about kind of thing, He was out of his depth in many ways. He wasn't stupid, but he really just wasn't in his depth. He often looked at numbers of aircraft and seeing that as the essential thing. And so in the build-up leading towards the war, numbers of aircraft were an important thing. Germany always had serious problems with aircraft engine production and maintaining numbers of it. So obviously a 4-engine aircraft takes more engines than a 2-engine aircraft. So to sort of, please your boss, do what your boss, wants to do. And it's, not that your boss is, just being silly about it, but, looking at it. So they built 2-engine aircraft, bombers and such. Well, now maybe we could readily, clearly say that prior to the start of World War II, there was a lot of lessons learned in fighting the war. 4-engine aircraft, generally speaking, they'll have longer range, but what they also can do is carry larger payloads effectively. So Germany's Luftwaffe was set up as a support arm for military invasions, and that it did very well in attacking, air bases behind the lines, in attacking, like what we've been doing here in supports of, attacks. That works very, very well. What it wasn't designed to do was do strategic bombing to pound Britain into submission. It was never designed to be that way. Walter Wavell wanted to have a more strategic air force designed to do that. Now, whether if he had lived, people think very highly of him. Now, maybe once, if he had lived, we, put him in command of whatever, and might have shown it to be very deficient. Commander, I am reading that you're talking about how the fuel ran out. Yes. And that's a big element of simply moving to the Normandy front is the air attacks that are delaying, disrupting. I just jump back on the topic. Had a more timely advance to the front would have been better than what happened. But it wouldn't have changed the ultimate outcome. I totally agree with that. Absolutely. The air defense is a real big thing. So the Luftwaffe expends itself fighting the Battle of Britain in the air. Now, if that was going to be followed up with some sort of invasion, it's probably worth it. But because it wasn't worth it. It was way too costly. But primarily the ME-109, but also the Focke-Wulf 190 are all relatively speaking short range compared to, especially if you're comparing them to even the early Mustangs versus the later ones that could get all the way to Berlin and back. Those are long range fighters. Not really a fighter, but the ME-110, it was a destroyer or a sort of bomber interceptor would be another good term for it. So, yes, it was a fighter aircraft, but it was designed to, go in and intercept incoming bombers. Had the Luftwaffe sort of done what I've done here, now I've shifted a few of them away, but I've kept 3 Luftflotte basically here, here on sort of basically interception from bombing to be defensive here over the Ruhr, over our occupied zones. Had they gone onto the defensive, they would not have had nearly the attrition of airplanes or of men. And just think of all of the aircraft that were damaged in, whether flak sometimes, but mostly, from fighters that couldn't make it back, either crash landed in the ocean, crash landed, in Britain. But had they been over Germany or over the continent, with a much shorter flight time to get home to do, oh, we're coming in, smoking, things not working right kind of landing. You would have had a lot more aircraft put back into service, a lot more pilots back into operations. It would have been, yes, Sea Lion. That was the plan. But if you followed through on it, it would have been worth it. But had they not done that, that was a serious problem. I know we're going a lot of deep in that. We'll keep on this. Okay, so we're not achieving this goal, which I'm sort of mad about, but okay. That's how it goes. Let's push up there, and there we can at least trap that division. We're going to use you as sort of a blocking force just to keep them from doing anything too stupid. Man, I didn't get anywhere I wanted to go there. Well, it means that this is a challenging game. No, I don't think Sea Lion would have been successful. Had Germany been prepared for something, because, look, the fall of France was almost as much of a shock to Germany as it was to France. That it fell. I mean, it was a shock to everybody. It was like, oh my God, we're doing it. We're actually, doing it. The Germans were, I'm sure, thinking. A few of them, at least to the high command and to the political situation, they were shocked. Von Manstein, some of the Panzer generals, they sort of knew that they could, push in and cut off the BEF and the French reserves that moved into the Belgium. They sort of knew all that, but the high command is like shocked. They were unprepared. Had they been a bit more prepared, had they not necessarily had a huge flotilla of invasion barges, but just some sort of plan, some sort of invasion capability, and pushed very, very quickly, it might have worked. Might. But I'm only giving it a might. Well, see, I think the Africa campaign was more important. You got to look at Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu's the key. The indirect approach. Sure, London is the goal, but the indirect approach is what makes London so strong. Britain, in 1939, if we look at the whole thing as, Britain here, is a very strong industrial country, but it can't feed itself. It's even worse than Germany in that issue. Can't feed itself. Although it has, I think, most of it's steel locally. I'm not sure. Iron and steel production definitely has enough coal, so basic power, to run the electrical factories, to run the steel mills. All that's coal based, so that's basically all right. But it's has no real synthetic fuel operation set up. I don't even know if they had any of that. Britain did. U.S. was developing it. Germany obviously was, but I don't really think Britain. So fuel's an issue for any sort of modern warfare. So if you choke out the food, the fuel, plus all of, even if there is a lot of the steel production in Britain, there's a lot of other necessary things that need to be shipped in. So sure, the U-boats out here are an important element of it, but you need to make it very difficult for the colonies to function. Now, sure, once the Italians are in the war, you're no longer easily able to come through the Mediterranean. You've got to go around. But there's still, if you would put a lot of pressure on this part of the world, that means troops have really got to come in here, and it's not just a narrow front that they're fighting in the desert. It's fighting, out here in Iraq. It's fighting down here in Sudan. It's worrying about a lot of stuff. If you've secured Gibraltar, well, now you have air operations out here. You have subs. You have surface raiders. You no longer have good British basing in the area. You've changed the whole thing a lot. You've changed it a lot. Okay, well, mentioning all this, let's do... We have our long-range subs out here that are playing around. I think these guys are going to need resupply soon, so let's head them back. Sort of towards base. I think they've been out the least time, so we'll do that. Okay. So we pushed in. Not, I mean, this is about what I wanted to have happen here. For the sort of south, this is a big disappointment for me. This is all about what I expected. I wanted to get Riga, but nah. If I could have got one more corps and both of them able to do an attack, we might have been able to push there. We've done reasonably well trying to cut off some supplies coming in, as if this is your main supply route. Now, we can deploy a corps. We'll put it in Warsaw. Don't know whether we're going to move it here in the south or put it to the rail to the north, or not south, but the center, or Army Group North or Army Group South. I'm not sure. Let's close that. Yeah. Come up to there. Don't want to exhaust everything, but let's make sure. Ooh, let's see if we can put them here. Enough, yeah, enough to get all of the Italians under there. Who do we have here? Vittorio Ambrosio. Okay. So, oh, and this, yeah, German division, we'll move that up to there. So let's look at our partisan situation. Okay. Don't know that we need to move him to there, but now down here, okay, there and there. Ooh, this range is going to be good for that. Let's put on, yeah, we can, ooh. That's more important, that's more important because that keeps the other rail lines also open. We'll come up to here with them. We'll get these guys here ready to respond to the next partisan outbreak. Here. Remove the supply. Okay. Now let's look here. Germany has a big stockpile. We have one ground attack, two ground attack, and one tactical element squadron coming later. You know, should I have waited for May 31st or into June? Maybe. Panzer Division there. Well, because they've been working out fairly well, 390, I think we're going to go with a mechanized corps. We may attach tank destroyers to it once we get that. Italy, we're getting a little bit of stockpile of both production and oil, which is good. I think we're going to let that. Well, back over to Italy here. We do have some supply trucks. You know, Merchant Marine, 180 days under production. No, we'll wait a turn. We're just going to wait a turn. Oh, no, that's the wrong nation. Merchant Marine, 100, 200. We'll wait a turn just to see how things go. None of these, I think we are, well, maybe. No, maybe we should wait See if we can build up to a proper small infantry corps instead of just trying to throw in a division. Yeah, there's nothing we're going to buy. Well, Romania, yeah, they're not. Finland's just trying to mobilize its forces. Deals with that. Okay, Italy, yeah. I think, well, yeah, we got a lot of that. Okay, a lot of support elements. I like that. The Soviets in the Eastern Front. Yes. I totally believe had it been a German-Soviet, Nazi-Soviet war, the Germans would have won. I believe that. I'm not saying it's a sure thing again. I just think it's most likely outcome. If it was just between them two. But having to face the Western Allies and the Soviets, Germany's just doomed. The Soviet Union initially just holds long enough, gets supplies, and is able to push back. They could have pushed back, I think, without Lend-Lease, but Lend-Lease really allows it to happen more effectively. I don't quite want to say it's required, because I don't believe it is, but without it, it becomes really difficult. Okay, let's see. I don't think there's anything more we should really do, because we've done the subs hunt. We've pushed around here. We pushed here. We got some trucks. We're going to run out of supply here, I think, a bit. But, yeah. Okay. Let's end this turn. No, but we will anyways. This has been a long time with me talking a lot and all. This frustrates me. I wanted to get that hex. Because we're going to see a lot of these forces escape. They're not doing the Stalinist type order of not one step back. They are stepping back. And I knew they would. I've sort of, as you can tell, I've sort of played it out a couple of times trying to do this. But it was still mostly hopeful than sure of any results. Okay, so put some infantry corps holding there. That we can take care of. I don't know if we can take care of it speedily, but I know we can take care of that. So wanted to trap some more. Okay, UK begin sending material to the USSR via Atlantic convoys. Italy naval air training advancement. Very good. Okay, 0 convoys sunk, 3 convoys sunk, 1 convoy, 2 convoys. Fleet has low supplies. Ooh, we have some. Guess we'll check that out there. No supply. Finland needs help getting its resources, and the Mediterranean group is sinking. 3 convoys. Okay. What is out of supply? Oh, up here. Okay. Well, I want to take this anyways. Can we send trucks? No. Okay. I don't know. We're going to think about that. Now, down here. Okay, well, we've trapped some, but more got out here. Obviously, a huge amount got out there. Don't tickle them, boot them. Crush. Okay. We need to think about using air power. We want to use it wisely, not just to make attacks. Okay. there. Keep them in contact. How far can this? Okay, they can't get to there. Yeah, no air power is within range. 3-1. 3-1 needs to be taken. Chance. Not that that's 5-1. So we only got pushed back to there. Very good. Very, very good. Hello, Karinan. Sorry, your your color is lime green on white background for me trying to read your name, and it's not easy. We're going well. We're pushing in. We've got something of a pocket. Okay. That's looking good to me. I'm being bold and Panzer generally. Guess we'll move that to there. Probably a bad supply situation. Not that we would expect much else. Oh good, we can play ping pong here. It may have not been the best solution, but oh well. There we go, shattered it. It was sort of disrupting this movement maybe a little bit. Don't think it's going to be good enough to take on that force there. But if we come here, we secure the rails. Let's see how we want to handle this. We should have done some air attack first. That would have been better. See, not that we for sure would have had that result, but that would have been a somewhat likely result. Yep, let's have the Italians move out here. Oh, push them back to there. Does that let either of these guys come? No, they're not. Well, they can attack. Hey, Christos. Yeah. Okay, sure. The number on the left here is the current strength of the unit. The number on the right is the action points of the unit. So this unit is at 10 strength currently, and it's used up all of its action points. So that is what these numbers. The aircraft numbers are ground attack, sort of strategic attack. It varies on the different type air units versus air attack. These are air and ground, which we're going to move some of these guys up here a bit further forward so that we'll be able to better use them in the near future. If you have any other questions, do ask. No, we'll just move you up here, move you up there. So if you were to fully move this 5 here, it would not be able to attack, but we can move this one 4 and then be able to attack. Oh, the 3X's are cores. The 4X's, those are Army HQs. If they have 2X's, they're divisions. Sort of the NATO standard way of determining unit size. Okay, 8 to 1. Yeah, we took the risk and got that. That is good. Always a. Yeah, that's quite true, Newhouser. That is a the Royal Navy was a serious threat. 10 to 1, 4 to 1. Okay, that got them there. We push back to there. I don't know. Do we do immediate attacks or do we push deeper? Now here, we got this core with extra artillery. And that would be a 3 to 1 attack. Okay. They get pushed back. We're going to bring in. We're going to use our air power. Ooh, land damage 3. Okay. Very good. Land damage 1. So those Stukas really did the job. We're now at 2 to 1, and that still didn't do it. Okay. Well. Let's push up here. Crossing the river is the problem. But we gotta cross. Well, yes. I don't know the exact formula. you have to destroy the unit by shattering it ultimately. Now here we've basically they're out of supply here. Again, a unit here is made up of this core here is at 30 strength out of 30 possible, and it's at 84% effectiveness. Where this core here, which has already attacked some, is still at full strength, but it's at 74% strength effectiveness because it's been disrupted attacking. So that affects its current strength. And here, this is damned useful, but not critical, so we're just doing a bit more conventional attacks. We're going to move the... So all of these have at least one action point, so we'll be able to combine their attack here and attack, but let's first hit them with an airstrike, which you notice reduces their effectiveness down. So now that it's a 2-to-1, well, not so good, but at least we push it. Nope, we're not going to continue to push there against the mech core. These two, I think we're going to attack there. No, we need one more. There we go. Now that was cut off and out of supply. Going to use up all of them allotted. Okay, that won't. That still has a little bit, so it's a 2-to-1 attack. Now let's use this. Wanted to sweep more. Push them back to there, which we don't like units retreating. We want them trapped or shattered. So retreating, of course, isn't the worst thing that can happen. Roads or railroads are incredibly important, as you can probably guess. Okay. Now here, what I want to get these guys up north, so we're going to put them on trains, and we'll move them as far as the railway will take them. Oh wow. Let's look at our current supply situation. Oh, that supply is fairly good. Well, in my opinion, they've made I may make a more serious error, because we may get cut off from whatever that might be supply wise, but we're going to take this city and we're going to threaten here. If we can get that rail junction, that will be incredibly good. Let's move that to help hold, that to help with command. think that's good enough to hold there. Well, that is spectacular. Yes, there is a unit symbol version of it. You have to, I think, in the setup or something. I'm not exactly sure how to switch over it, so you don't have to use the NATO symbols if you don't want to. I'm just so familiar with them. That's what I'm using. No, it's released. They're still working on bugs and tinkering with it as well, but it was released last week. So you can buy the game if you wish on the Matrix store. Yeah, well, we're going to try to push here. That was the goal. You can see we're becoming a little bit more exhausted. They can't move up, I hope. We'll be able to maintain our supplies well enough. I hope. This may be a serious mistake. We'll see. We will see. Part of this is still in. Hey, Tony, first gen. Good to have you here. I don't know on Steam. They at best have said it may, but don't hold your breath. Don't, it's not for sure that it's going to be on Steam. It's just likely to be, but no, I'm going to keep back there actually. Reposition you a bit further north. We should have come up a while ago. Okay. Let's look at our partisan situation here. Okay, and there. So let's make sure the railway is working, and also hit the supply to see where we're going to be having problems with partisans. Hopefully if we get to them before they break out in complete partisan anarchy, we can keep it from getting bad and cutting off our rails. And I have noticed all of this that could be a real problem here. I don't know how bad a problem it's going to get, but it looks like it can be a serious one indeed. Oh well, it has 0 organization. It still has strength if it's the 0 strength unit. If it's hit, like we can see down here, let me turn off the supply markers here. We have a 0 strength division down here. That this is sort of an Iraqi division. You can look at the details. It's a 67% organization, and it has 3 out of 10 possible strengths. So it is in no position to attack. It has action points, so I can move it. It can defend, but if it gets hit by almost anything, it's just going to either retreat or shatter as the conditions may be. So it still has a little bit. It needs to be shattered or whatnot. So that's what we're looking at with that, just to give you an idea. Okay. Wait. Well, there was the developer, Alvaro, who isn't here right now. Supply's an issue here. No supply. Has no supply. I'm gonna fall back. I don't know if it's the best. Yeah, but we're out of supply for those units, and that's the problem. Now we're out of supply here, but all we're trying to do is hold the railroad junction to mess with them. He, as well as I, are old players of a game called Third Reich from Avalon Hill way back in the 80s. So yeah, there's a lot of familiarity with that. We're gonna move you up to here. Okay, let's take a look down here. We could try to race out to there, but I don't know that that's the best use for the Africa Corps. I think Port Said is the best objective for us to get now. Yeah. Let's move these guys up to here. 3 to 2. These are using up, what is it, per 3 oil, and we're very low on oil for Italy. That's why you're seeing this symbol here. So you have to carefully consider what and when you're going to strike. Okay. 3 to 2. Now, can we move? Yes, we can. So that would be 2 to 1. Well, oh no, we want to do ground attack. Don't tickle them, boot them. We leave them. Yeah, we left these guys here, and they're too far away. We're gonna move them up to here. We're gonna use them in Russia. So boom. Okay. Ooh, we may not have. So they hold. They're messed up. We're gonna stop pushing there. I'm gonna make sure we continue to hold there. Hold Cairo. Hold Alexandria with the HQ. We're going to send them out to the desert. And these guys down here to help out next turn, I think is the best option. No. We're going to pound them with the air a little bit more next turn. How do you reduce upkeep? Well, one of the ways to reduce upkeep is to turn whether they're infantry, whether divisional or corps infantry units, from standard into garrison status. So they move a lot less. They have full strength on defense, maybe even more depending on some conditions, but only half strength on attack. So, and they don't move as fast. So that would be one way to reduce upkeep. Sorry, I didn't see that earlier. So yes, we've got that. Now we have the 71st Division ready to deploy. Let's look again at our supply mode. You can see that we're facing a potential lot of partisans wherever we're not occupying along the railways. This is going to become a serious problem, I think. Let's deploy him over here. I think that is best. Now, seeing all of that, and I have not invaded the Soviet Union other than just early test here, we're going to let's purchase a few divisions for Germany. No, do we want to purchase anything for Italy? We were thinking about mechanized corps maybe, or air power. I don't know. We've got enough air power. We need more. Yeah, small. Okay, we could do a small corps for Hungary. It shares out the manpower. So we'll do that. We'll put that into the production queue. We can see currently Germany's production queue, Italy is just some trucks, and Hungary will have the small infantry corps. So that is our current war here. For the most part, I'm pleased. Now, well, let's put these guys on board ship. Let's see if we can combine here. Come here and let's see. See if we can invade. There. So we have invaded the Crimea. We have secured a port. That's as far as I'm going to go at the moment. We're going to move these guys up to this port. We're going to see about following along, getting them. Well, what's their current lift? Nope, looks they moved in the port next turn. We'll see how the AI reacts to that. And being down there. Okay, our submarines. Well, which one are in low supply? Oh, this here. Okay. Ooh, yeah, you need to get to the port. We also, let's see if we can attack. Enemy fleet not found. See if we can find them this time. Nope, I'm not going to bother in the rain with the Italians. They don't have the fuel. So that's what we're going to do with that. And let's see, is there any major areas that I'm forgetting to move troops up? No, it doesn't look like it. This is a bit of a gamble. I can cut that off, but maybe we would simply counterattack there. Don't know how they're going to deal with supplies out in the pre-pat marshes. This is still experimental for me. Okay, so there we go. That's looking okay. Let's see about, well, no, that ain't a bad spot. We hit Minsk or something. I want to get to there and here. Yes, so much so. Okay. I think, well, let's save this. There we go, call Barbarossa. And we're going to end the turn. Hopefully their out of supplies won't be doomed. Uh-oh, our fleet looked like it sailed away. They're bombing Warsaw. Yep, they got cut off. We'll see if we can hold that. They decided to take out the Baghdad garrison. Wasn't much of a fight. They've reconnected the link here. Probably should have, if I don't remember if I could have moved into that one hex. Maybe I could have, I'm not sure. Iraq surrendered, yes. Okay, so we sunk 6 convoys and 2 escorts. In the north, supply, enemy naval forces, Iraq surrender, fleet, low supplies. Okay, low supplies. Yeah, now let's close this. Like I was saying, this was a big gamble. We're going to move down to there and see if we can hold to that. Okay. Don't know how well that's going to do without supplies. But it's something we're looking at. These guys are low on supplies. These guys are going to come out there. Well, see, these are down at 1 out of 5, so they're going to come back to here, port. They're going to just sort of hang out there. Well, there's so much to do. Okay, what can we do here? We're going to have like 1 good attack, it looks like. Well, 1 really good attack. So let's see what we can do and reduce down. Yeah, victory points are sort of these things, but they're actually sort of manpower points as well. And there's also, you can see a lot of the industrial points here. They affect, you can look here on this thing, the morale of the nation. Italy is at 63, I guess. If it goes to 55, it surrenders. No, but some like USA and Britain, it's endless morale, but that affects what the surrender is going to be like and things like that. What Port Said? We are really pushing that hard. Okay. Let's 4 to 1. 4 to 1 with all of that. And that. Oh, they don't have the fuel. Oh, we got to get more fuel to Italy. Damn, we've used up way too much of their fuel. Okay. Well. Okay, we've got it. We've got it. Push the fleet out into the sea. So we are holding all of the ports. That is good. That is very good. I think we're going to let these guys starve down here. So let's move the Panzers up here. Now, mentioning we need more fuel for Italy. So there's this trading screen here. So we're going to cancel. Currently, Germany is sending 26 oil to Italy per turn. So we're going to cancel that. And we're going to set up a new trade up here from Germany to Italy. And let's go 36. And let's go a little more. Let's go 40. No. Mouse moved. 40. We're going to just do 40. Create the trade. So next turn that will send 40. Obviously that eats into Germany's total, but still. If we can get this other oil, that will help immensely. And I think right now these guys are just going to get to starve on the vine here. Now over here, Germany has oil, so Germany's going to airstrike. Airstrike. Okay. Boost it by 1. 2 to 1 attack. 3 to 1. Come on, Paris. No, no more. Yeah, one more. Nope. We used up all of our action points. And we've damaged ourselves. We're down 5 points, but still they're much worse off, so I'm not terribly worried about that. And they're in supply. Okay. Now, still got all of these units here. Oh boy, we could go way out here, but I think I'll get cut off. So let's use our mobility and secure out here. I don't know, again, how having Italy, I don't know if that was the best move, having Italy do that. Oh, we can maybe even take out an air bomber or bomber unit that way. Two to 1. They've got to be starving out there. Okay, they shattered. That's good. Just don't know how pushing deep I should be on these things. Okay, well they didn't. Let's look at our supply up here. Okay, that's only one supply. So we've got to take that, at least that mechanized unit. We took the province, or the hex. That will for sure help supply. Yeah, annoying, but there we go. And then get back on. Move up to there. Three to one. Well, let's throw in some air power. So, this mech unit, we can hit it hard. I don't know if hard enough, but hard. Yeah, let's airstrike it. Okay, that helps. Which should cut off at least a fair amount of their supply. Okay, well, we've got to Minsk, which was sort of one of my goals, but I'm not plunging deep into the Soviet Union like I would want. This is a fascinating game of just what is best way to push without getting too overextended, like, because I want to just run deep here, because I like to say I want to run deep, but I just don't know that I can. Okay, 5 to 1. 3 to 1. Well, that took a bit out of them, but didn't quite take them down. To 1, 5 to 1, very good, very good. That's the kind of stuff I was hoping for. Oh damn it, pushed it to here. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. Should have closed that gap first. That to there, which I don't like. I'm going to have to do this. Yeah, kept me from pushing super deep. That was a mistake. I should have pushed first and then pushed up. Okay, well. Now let's go for it. This may be a super big mistake. We'll see. Well, even at 5 to 1, that didn't get it. Wow. Should have used the air power. Okay, well. Take down that armored core. And it surrenders. Very good. I have these more medium bombers. An airstrike there and an airstrike there. Now this one. Nope. Yep. Try that. Hey, Farrah Oakenshield. Good to have you here. Okay. So we're pushing into there. We're holding these guys. Pushing there. Let's move this up. HQs are relatively good blockers, but they're definitely, they don't attack. That will protect the air from being overrun. Hopefully fortune will favor the bold here. We're being super bold. Stupidly bold, but hey. Okay, I'm worried. Why am I worried? Three to 2. That won't have a river penalty. 2 to 1. Okay, we'll take a 2 to 1 and try that. Bold, bold, bold. As he said, as he lost it all. Well, I just don't know how the AI is going to react to all of this. Okay, let's look around here. Partisan activity. Oh, deal with that. Oh, that's our partisans, I guess, in Iraq. You can come down and deal with them. Support supply interdiction. Oh, these guys here. Yes, well, since you're no longer... Oh, good. Damage 2 of them. Or damage level 2 to 1 of them or whatever. Okay, yes, oh, they're interdicting here. So what we'll want to do here... Okay, well, we've flown some of our aircraft. Let's... we're just going to live with that. Unit has low supply. Okay, yeah, you come back to Brest. Unit has no source of supply. Oh, let's look at our supply. Okay, yeah, you need to move back to here. Okay. Unit has no source of supply. Yeah, we're cut off deep in there. But we're hoping that we're going to relieve it. They're low supply out here, and we're just going to let them be there at that. Unit has low, yeah, okay, low supply there, yes. Italy low stockpile. Well, we're getting no oil. Well, we're getting more oil coming. Okay. Okay, well, they're going to start way back here either way. Well, we can move those guys up. So let's deploy them here. Oh. Like we could have supply problems in a lot of places. So, yeah, Army Group Center is where we're going to go with you. I know they will lose organization or effectiveness, shall we say, as time goes on. I don't know if they'll actually starve to death. You know, meaning be removed from the map. I quite honestly don't know it. I wish the developer was here. I guess he had some of the things he needed to do. I don't know. And he could answer that definitively, but I'm just not sure. Okay, they're coming back in here. Let's move you over to here. Keep raiding the convoys. You keep raiding the convoys. You can click here, trade convoys, to see which convoy routes. We have nobody intercepting up here. Wonder if we should... Yeah, that might be an interesting thing. Let's unselect all of these and then just select Bismarck group. What if we were to... Let's move them over to here. We may see about putting them up to raid the convoy. There, see how that goes. Worried about, well, adding things that are going to add to the need of oil for everybody, but I want to get this oil out here. That will help a lot. Hopefully these will all starve enough that we'll be able to take them. Okay. We're going to go a little bit longer than scheduled. If you guys want to continue hanging around. Not hugely longer, but a turn or so. So let's make sure we're getting units that can come up. Oh, no, I want to undo that. Let's see how they do out here with limited or no supply. Just checking. Sometimes I forget to move units up that aren't immediately useful but would be useful next turn, kind of thing. Okay, I think that's where we're at. How quickly does the supply affect unit? Well, immediately. It's very affects on the effectiveness, and you'll often see that units that are sitting on railways that have higher supply levels than units not on railways will often have greater effectiveness. So it's every turn. Railways are immensely important. That's why you can have whole big areas out there. Oh, they're bombing us from somewhere. And not need to keep a continuous line of defense, because without some of the railways here, these guys are going to starve. I'm just hoping that we continue to move and secure the railways. Okay, North Atlantic Group sinks 2 convoys, South Atlantic Group sinks 5 convoys and an escort, South Atlantic Convoy Group sinks 2 convoys, or raiding group and an escort. Fleet has low supplies, no supplies. We'll look all that. Finland needs support. Okay, Mediterranean. Well, Italy lost 2 convoys, it looks like. Okay. We're going to have to deal with more convoys for Italy sometime, but for now, let's look at seeing what we can do here. Okay, they shattered. Very nice. Very nice. Our panzers, let's see, can they get... No, so they're out of... Okay. Look at the supply situation. Because Iraq fell, we're now no longer getting good supply. Let's see if we can get our... Oh no, I want to undo that. I want to do that. If you haven't taken off, what I want to do here is click on this and give it use trucks to keep it in supply. So notice it bumps up in greater supply here. So we're going to hopefully come and get to Baghdad next turn and get supply that way. You guys keep marching forward. Yeah, I think we're just going to use the 1 mech and the infantry units to deal with them as they hopefully continue to starve. Lost 23. 2 to 1 now. Come on, take them, take them, take them, take them, take them, take them, take them. Okay, well, you got... Okay, you can't actually... Don't have enough action points to go into the hills to take the port. Okay, not the exact result I wanted, but that works. Now, Here, let's see. Yes, they're out of supply. I'm not surprised. These guys, we're going to put them on ships. And we're going to unselect these guys, and these guys are just going to dash to here and get out of the ships. Okay, the Bucharest garrison's going to move forward to possibly do that again. See, we may come down to here. We'll see what we do with them. Look at supply. Okay, they're really not in supply. We're down to 1 strength. Let's move these guys up. To 1. To 1, still gonna crack them. I'll take no mill. That's got to disrupt them. Push them back. You guys seeing what I'm seeing here? Okay, push them off the railway. That may link eventually up. Fly with them. Oh no, can we go back still? Yes, I want to use some of our trucks to make sure these guys stay in supply a little longer. They're going to hang out right there on the river. These guys are going to come here, which connects all of that up. Move that to there. Okay, that reduced it by 1. Let's see if we can get 4 to 1. 3 to 1, they got pushed back. Good. They're still being stubborn down here. Yep, we're gonna do it. And come down here. And because if we come, because we're cutting the railways there, we come to here, cut this railway there. Back in Minsk, I think. Pockets, pockets, pockets. Deep, deep pockets is what we're looking for, I guess. Oh, that would be, I think, a partisan unit that sprung up there. As you can see, it's I'll just click on it here. Partisan unit strength full, but okay, so they're cutting off here. I knew that could happen. And so we have to learn to manage some of that and deal with some of that. That is sort of why I have, okay, I guess we've moved him up. Oh, like him, that would have been, no, he's a core. No, somewhere we have some divisions, we have some more coming. Hit them fairly hard. A very hard hit. Okay, so they're cut on all the rail accesses there. I know these guys are probably still getting supply through the port, which is an issue. Not quite what I wanted to have happen. Yes, I am worried about partisans. I hope this is all interesting. I know I'm not prattling on so much here. Does have anti-aircraft, though I'm probably not, wouldn't be too worried about it. Okay, let's see here. 6-1. Surrender is very good. 2-1. 4-1. 4-1, and they're gone. Okay. We've taken them out. That's good. Across the river, not so great. No, I don't want to completely exhaust my troops. Well, we're going to leave them right where they are, but these guys, they should come up to Minsk. Probably should have used them in some of those attacks, but they looked like such favorable attacks. Let's pound these guys. Okay. Seeing just. There we go. And they shatter. Very good, very good. They'll come up and occupy. Okay. Plunging deep into the Soviet Union. Probably making all kinds of mistakes now. Yeah, we'll move the garrison there temporarily. We need more behind the lines. Okay, yeah, they're now these guys, let's put them out on the convoy line. Low supply. Okay, yeah, you're out here. So you need to head home. We can send to Lorient. And you've been resupplied. Let's you out there, and you can come home to Brest. No supply. Okay, they've already moved. We know they are, but we've connected them up, so maybe they'll have at least low supply. Yes, we're getting that. Unit has no supply source. Ah, yes. Okay. We're gonna sit here because I want to sit on the city/railway junction for a little while. They're gonna have a little bit of supply. Oh, I think it was this unit here that was what calling us to the location. Yeah, and yeah. Okay. That is good. Italy stockpile now. We have a lot more oil. As we can see, probably we're gonna do something. Let's do a mech core. It's gonna take a while to get built, but it'll help us out as various things. Okay, Germany. (42, 42). We have what? One mech? Well, one mech and one panzer. We also have a bunch of these divisions here. I think what we'll do here is, well, let's quickly look. Okay. Yeah. We're going to put these on railways and them to here, and this one on railways, on trains. We can send them up to here. Let's use you to hold there. Let's grab a couple of these from France. This is close as we can get them to the front. And over to here. Let's build infantry divisions. We might as well do that. We can enter custom name. I don't really care. We'll just do another 3 more infantry divisions to help hold our relay. Hey, Ari, how you doing, my friend? We are plunging deep into the Soviet Union, as you can see here. No, they've got these 2 submarines on our route here. Let's see if either one can. Not found. Not found this turn. I'm going to waste the Italian oil, I think. Nope, they didn't find them. Okay. The rain, I'm sure, hurt finding the submarines. I want to get to that port and cut them off. Don't know. Well, I think we're going to end the stream here. Oh, let's see what. Do my or did you do a name? Yes, we did. We did get into with the mountain division, and then we followed it up with some Romanians to hold the port. We have these guys cut off deep in behind, but hopefully because we are moving around here, I could move them down and connect up here, but I want to hold that location. So we're going deeply and doing reasonably well. So, like I say, I think we're going to end this here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the video. Just used to saying that so much. If you haven't already, you can follow me on Twitch. That is gamer_1745 on Twitch. And on that page, you can scroll down a bit and see a link to my YouTube channel, where you'll find this video posted later, as well as the videos leading up to this, as well as many other historical gaming videos on my YouTube channel. You can just search over there for gamer_1745 and you should find me. I would appreciate anybody who wants to subscribe over there or follow me on Twitch. Really do appreciate that. Of course, thanks Slytherin for letting me stream here. So, gamer, I appreciate it. Okay, thank you, and I hope you all enjoy my historical talks. And I really like interacting with you guys, so thanks so much. See you next time. I'm not sure what we're doing next week. Maybe more of this. We may come back and see how we go deeper into it. So thanks again, everyone.